it's gonna ring now. He been fly, ain't a damn thing changed now. He elevated while they looking at him strange now. Gone, let it ring now. He in the game now. He's a ruler, I know he is gonna ring now. He been fly, ain't a damn thing changed now. He elevated while they looking at him strange now. Gone, let it ring now. Every time he show up, it's a frenzy, boy, just hold up. Check his wrists, yes, he's froze up, he's divine.
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Qaysean, and I'm back with another episode of my podcast. I do apologize for my hiatus that I have been on. If you guys have been following me on my social media platforms, then you guys know that it was prom season, so I was making a lot of custom prom dresses, and that was it's always a busy season for me around prom season, so that occurred. And on top of that, I recently have been featured in a campaign by iconic apparel brand Champion. So congratulations to me on that. It was really big. So a lot of things has been going on, and a lot of things are actually occurring in these exact moments. So I do apologize for my inconsistency in posting my podcast episodes, but we're back. I pray that you all are well, and I pray that this message finds you in great spirits. I pray that this episode uplifts you and helps you in any kind of way. And I do look forward to your feedback in the comments, your messages that can also help me and also help other listeners who are tuned in as well, because that's what we are here to do, and that will never ever change. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for even coming and tuning into my podcast. Yeah, so like I said, a lot of things have been occurring. Very grateful for everything that has happened into my life, and just really getting this Champion campaign. It's called the No Permission Collection. It's a campaign about different iconic streetwear brands like Supreme, Babe, and Pyrex Vision, how these brands use Champion blanks to start their brands. And what Champion has done is highlighted that and created that ethos of not needing permission to be great and not needing permission to make your mark in fashion. So me and my brand Manikin was one of the partnering designers, and for this collection, for the campaign I should say, and I created a one-of-one Manikin X Champion hoodie, which was really dope. I had got really great responses from that. So that was just iconic. And there has been people who've been telling me or telling my team that Qaysean should switch the way he look, X, Y, and Z. And I'm not sure exactly where people are coming from when they say these things, because I do know, like, in the world there are some people who just not accepting of queer people. And so sometimes I always think of that as the first thing when people say for me to change my look, in air quotes. And it's just kind of like, what? So the fact that a brand like Champion, which is almost not an opposite of my aesthetic, because I do tap into many different sides of myself. However, for someone who may not know me as much, would think that Champion is far away from my aesthetic. But the fact that I am actually in their newest and latest commercial shows that, baby, you got to be yourself, and the right people will come and connect. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of lay that out there. So this episode is inspired by actually an interaction that, well, not really an interaction, but something that occurred. And if you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, then you guys probably already is privy to this information. But recently I was at a nightclub, and I won't say the name of the nightclub because I don't think it's necessary. But it was in a place where I frequent, and it was two people inside of there who were close, like almost like next to me, and I saw them paying attention, like looking at my arm, and then I saw them chuckling at each other, and I saw it, but then I was like, okay, whatever. But then I saw them continuously kept doing it, and I mean, like, their eyes were burning in my hand, and I was like, okay, now I'm like seeing them, and they're like laughing, and it was just like, wow. So when that was occurring, I stated this on my post that I post on my social media pages, it really triggered my inner child, and it really made me feel like I wanted to be invisible. And I started to just feel all of those emotions and all of those things that occurred and experiences that I had growing up, and just knowing when someone looked at my arm, they were about to say something that would hurt my feelings, or it just made the inadequacy that I sometimes felt because of my injured arm. I felt those emotions, and I just felt those feelings, and all of it was kind of rushing to me at once while I was out at the nightclub, while I was in the middle of celebrating a friend's birthday, and all the while not trying to go backwards with the way that I felt about myself. And in that moment, yes, all of those things occur, but what I really am proud of myself for is being aware of what was occurring in that moment and how I was feeling and why I was feeling it, and not even from them, but just the root of where those feelings would even emerge for me to make me want to feel invisible. So I realized all of that in those seconds, that all of that was occurring, and I kind of dust my shoulder off and was like, nah, you that one, like you a bad motherfucker, like, excuse my French. We not about to let anybody, no randoms, be looking at you, pointing at you. Yes, your arm is uniquely different. Yes, you are different. Yes, you are also beautiful, and you have to know that, and you have to know that people are going to stare, people are going to scan you, people are going to get into you. And as I was saying that, I was like, no, I want to enjoy my night, baby, you're beautiful. And that's what I did. And I noticed one of them was looking at me. I mean, looking me up and down. And I'm like, yeah, get into it. Because, yeah, my arm may be different, you know. You may find a kiki and a cackle. That's cool. But, baby, you see everything else. Everything is together. And then you look back at that arm like, wow, that don't even stop him. So this episode is going to be titled Not Allowing Your Insecurities to Stop You. And also learning how to live with your insecurities, because I don't think our insecurities necessarily go away completely, just like trauma doesn't necessarily go away completely. I think it's just about managing them and knowing when they occur and your triggers. And I think I talked about this in previous podcast episodes, but you know, just knowing who you are. Again, it goes back to knowing self and knowing what triggers you and knowing what your insecure or your weaker spots, your softer spots are, and having that grace for yourself, for real. Because I know I've been putting in the self-love work. I know that I do my affirmations. I pour into myself, and I hold myself accountable, and I do all of these things that I've learned to do to live a better life and to change the perspective that I used to have. And it has greatly benefited in my livelihood and in my career and just my overall existence. But I also am aware that that does not erase the things that have occurred to me in my past and the way that I felt about certain things about me from my past, like my arm, and you know, even my sexuality sometimes comes into play when I think about emotions from the past and trigger points in quote unquote insecurities that have developed because of interactions that I've experienced. And through my whole entire self-development journey, I'm learning more and more each day that it's great that I'm putting in all of the work, because me putting in all of that work is like my armor and like my sword or like my superpowers for when attack happens. Because the thing is, attacks are going to happen. We can't erase enemies, we can't erase attacks. It's about how well equipped I am to handle combat and to handle myself in battle and protect myself. And that was that moment. In that moment, I was in a battle. It was a silent battle because they don't know me. They didn't know what triggered me. They didn't know that I even saw them. But I knew what was happening within me. And I had my armor and I had my sword and I had my superpowers on go. And part of that was just being aware. Part of that was just being like, that's them, that's not me. And part of me also told myself, I don't have to feel insecure. I don't have to feel invisible in this moment. I don't have to let that win. And I didn't. I had an amazing night. And I posted all of that on my social media because it wasn't about to gain sympathy or anything like that. Because like I said, I was aware, and I was well aware of what I was feeling and why I was feeling it and what I wanted to feel. And I also know the reality of life. And when you're different, when you have differences like I have, you're naturally going to get attention, and people are naturally going to look, and they're going to be curious. Some people are more mature than others, but it's going to always be something that's going to garner some kind of attention. So I'm aware of all of that. It's just more so now being able to handle when, like I said, when the battle occurs of when your insecurities are flared up, when you're triggered. And like I said, my inner child was triggered because in a moment it felt like my inner child was back in 5th grade or 4th grade, in 6th grade, and no one was there to understand me or to save me or help me in kind of a way. And in that moment, my inner child had me, because I was there. I was right there, like, step aside, got you. And I just want you guys to know for real that no matter what you feel like you are, what you feel like you don't have, what you feel like makes you different and that you don't like about it, and what people may say about you that may not make you feel your greatest, or some things that they tell you that they don't like about you, or they who would love for you to change, or only if you was this, or as long as you was that. Listen, none of that determines who you are on the inside. None of that determines that the things that you're insecure about is actually a bad thing. It's your perspective. It's your perception of who you are. And before I walk outside any day, I always give my own self, my own validation. I appreciate everything about me before I step into the world, because it's not a guarantee you're going to get that from other people. And one thing I learned about people is everybody's fickle. Some people are up one day and they're down one day. They yes one day, they no the other day. But when it comes to me, I know that I'm going to be consistently on my side. Even if I'm giving myself tough love, I know where my intentions are. And I just want you guys to be mindful of that. And just know that as much work that you do for yourself, on yourself, and much love you pour into yourself, and how much you keep changing your perspectives and you keep growing and being beautiful and elevating, there are going to be moments when you are going to be tested, because that's why we do all of this that we're doing, to test our might, to test our progress. And let's use that as metrics to see how strong we are, how stronger we've gotten, and be okay with people not being kind. And that doesn't mean that you have to accept it or deal with it, but just understand that it exists. There are nice people and there are evil people in this world. It's just how it is. It's the balance of things. And I'm learning that each and every day. And I even have questions because, I have an injury or disability. I'm living with a disability. I'm a black man. I'm a queer man. And to society, these are strikes. These are disadvantages. And I thought about that, and I was like, it made me even give my own self a pat on the back, because with all of these things, these disadvantages, these strikes that are placed, quote unquote, or try to be placed, because we're going to be mindful. I'm not going to say that it holds me back. I do see that there are prejudices that do occur with the sexuality, with the color of your skin, and even with your physicality of who you are. The way you look, your appearance, all of that, everything has a prejudice to it. And I believe because I am in all of these different subgroups that I'm experiencing it more, and it's more visible for me because I live it. And I am put to the test with it, because those things, like those prejudices, those moments when I feel like inadequate, or when someone may make me feel like that, those are character building moments, because I could easily entertain the energy and get on the same type frequency, and it could be nasty, and it could be rude, and it could be all kinds of different things depending on the situation. I'm just not here for that. That's just not my vibes, for real. Like, I'm a beautiful person. I love beautiful people. I'm all about elevation. I'm all about growth. And I do understand that there are going to be times where things are going to come up that's going to cause my insecurities. That's going to cause me to feel anxious. It's going to make me want to be invisible. And it's just something I got got to continue to work with. And I understand that it may not ever completely diminish, but I do know that if I continue to put in the work to love myself, to trust myself, to appreciate myself, to not sit in mess and not sit in energies that is not uplifting me, and energies that is demeaning others. Because again, even if you are not someone that is causing pain to others, but if you are sitting in that energy and watching someone else causing pain to someone else, you are just as guilty. I refuse to be in that type of energy. I refuse to produce that type of energy. And I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm saying that I am aware. And I'm saying that I have a standard and I have a mindset and I have a flow of how I want to do things and how I want to be in my life. And I always ask God each and every day for discernment to be wise and to move wise and to be aware of me and aware of people. Mainly me, because I control how I react. And as I did with that situation at the nightclub, I chose not to react or engage with them. I chose to love myself in that moment. I chose to enjoy my night and shake my ass like I did. So understand that you are still in control no matter what insecurities may come up, no matter what anxieties that you may feel. You are in control of how you react. You are in control of what you tell yourself and what you believe. So this isn't going to be a really long podcast. I just really wanted to kind of get that out there. I love y'all so much. I told y'all I'm back. We back. We got things cooking. And the fashion, I got some fashions coming. It's a lot of great things that's in the works. I'm so excited. I thank you guys so very much. And before I leave out, as always, if you guys can follow me on Instagram at RealLifeManikin. That's MANIKIN. And in my bio on my Instagram, you'll see my custom design page, The One Hand Sewing Man. And you'll see my fashion brand, Mannequin Mob, MANIKINMOB. Please click those profiles, follow those pages, and check out my website at www.houseofmannequin.com. As always, remember, you are beautiful, you are strong, you are exactly where you're supposed to be, you are more than enough, you are beautiful, you are unique, you have a special gift, and you have a special imprint that only you can leave here on this earth. And without you, something will be missing. So always remember that you are supposed to be here. I love y'all. We back, baby. We back. Until next time, be blessed.
Yeah, I never needed validation just to wear the crown. Glamorous, that's heat. No need to see ID. Go ahead and check his feet. I bet you never ever see nobody made like he. We a mannequin, real legend in them streets.